What if no-clothes towns aren't what you think? Some people think living without clothes is wild. The truth is softer and stranger. Across the globe, small communities are quietly thriving, built on a principle that many find startling, yet thousands find liberating. These are not chaotic gatherings or fleeting festivals. They are established towns with homes, streets, and neighbors. They are places where people have chosen to live their daily lives without the layer of fabric that society considers essential. The reasons for this choice are as varied and as human as the people themselves, weaving a story not of shock, but of a gentle search for authenticity, acceptance. This essay documentary pulls back the curtain on an often misunderstood lifestyle. We will journey into these unique spaces, not with sensationalism, but with a calm and curious spirit. We will explore the simple facts, see the places, and hear from the faces that make up these communities. This is a human story about our relationship with our bodies, with nature, and with belonging. For many, the first image is anarchy, or unrestrained behavior, a myth fueled by discomfort with the human form. However, reality is gentle order and respect. Clear rules and shared boundaries guide life here. Families raise children, retirees relax, individuals seek refuge from an appearance-obsessed world. The surprise is not the absence of clothes, but the presence of harmony. A naturist town, at first glance, resembles any other small, peaceful settlement. The architecture is familiar, the bird song is the same, and the morning sun casts long shadows down quiet streets. It's a place built on a foundation of normalcy and community. Here, you will find the familiar comforts of home, well-tended gardens bursting with color, and quiet residential streets where the day begins at a gentle pace. There's a community hall for gatherings, a small grocery store for daily needs, and a local cafe where the aroma of coffee fills the air. The daily rhythms are just what you'd expect. People walk their dogs along familiar paths, collect their mail, and neighbors pause on their porches to share a friendly word. The profound difference is simply the absence of an expectation to wear clothes. This unique freedom is supported by a clear structure. Upon arrival, everyone is introduced to the community's guidelines. These rules are the bedrock of community life, ensuring comfort, hygiene, and mutual respect for all. A common and essential rule is to always sit on a towel. This simple practice applies everywhere, on public benches, at the pool, and inside cafes. It's a small, mindful act that perfectly balances individual freedom with collective responsibility. Respect for personal space is paramount. Staring and any form of intrusive or gawking conduct are strictly discouraged. The aim is to create an environment that desexualizes nudity, allowing for the normalization and acceptance of all diverse bodies. Within this framework of respect, daily life unfolds gently. Mornings might begin with a quiet walk, a few laps at the pool, some peaceful time spent gardening, or a communal yoga session in the park. When the weather turns cooler, it's common to see people in robes or other comfortable layers. The choice is always personal, practical, and respected. To truly understand the appeal of a place like this, you have to move beyond the surface. You have to listen to the people who live here, to the quiet transformations that unfold day by day. These are personal narratives of discovery, healing, and a profound sense of reconnection, not just with others, but with themselves.
I moved here after a lifetime of feeling deeply, painfully self-conscious about my body. It was a constant low-level hum of anxiety. For 60 years, I saw myself only through the critical eyes of others, real or imagined. Every flaw, every scar, every sign of aging felt like a failure. Here, no one looks at you that way. There's no judgment, no comparison. They just see you. After a few weeks, I stopped seeing the flaws. I started seeing a body that had carried me through a long and full life. That was a revelation.
Then there's the story of a young family seeking a gentler, more honest environment for their children.
We were so worried about the constant media pressure, the impossible standards, the idealized bodies our kids see everywhere. We want them to grow up understanding that all bodies are different, and that different is just another word for normal.
Here, children see that reality every day. They see people of all ages, shapes, and sizes living openly and without shame.
It teaches them that nudity isn't inherently shameful or sexual. It's just natural. It's just being human.
In my old neighborhood, I knew my neighbors' cars and their delivery schedules better than I knew them. We were isolated in plain sight. Here, you can't hide behind labels, job titles, or expensive clothes. You're just you, a person. We share meals, we help with projects, we look out for each other's kids. That sense of belonging, it feels real and earned.
These stories reveal a deeper truth. It's not just about the freedom of being unclothed, it's about the profound emotional freedom that follows. The idea of living closer to nature isn't new. Its roots run deep. In Germany's life reform movement, people sought relief from industrial ills, pollution, crowded cities, sedentary lives. They championed fresh air, sunlight, exercise, and whole foods. Not radicals, but thinkers and teachers. Clothing as barrier, nature as healing, sun and air. Clubs formed, free body culture, not exhibitionism, liberation from rigid norms. The ideals spread and became places to live, not just visit. Core goals endured: body acceptance, nature, respectful community. Today's towns descend from that gentle idealism. Despite new challenges, the desire for freedom, health, and community remains. It's about well-being, not sexuality. A century-old dream of a more peaceful life. To truly understand the philosophy behind modern naturism, it's essential to place it within a much broader global and historical context. This perspective helps us see it not as an isolated phenomenon, but as one of many ways humans have related to their bodies throughout time. For countless generations, many traditional cultures have lived with little or no clothing. This wasn't a statement or a choice in the modern sense, but a natural way of life dictated by climate and custom. From the Amazon rainforest to the highlands of Papua New Guinea and parts of sub-Saharan Africa, an unclothed life was simply practical and deeply integrated into the social fabric. Here, the unclothed body was a canvas that carried profound cultural meaning, communicating identity, status, and spirituality through adornment rather than concealment. This is a key distinction. Where traditional practice is an expression of collective identity passed down through generations, modern naturism is born from individual choice and personal philosophy. The modern path is often a conscious reaction against the norms of a clothed society, a personal quest for freedom, body acceptance, and better health. Because of this, we must be careful not to conflate them. To do so risks erasing the unique cultural significance of traditions that are woven into ritual and daily life. By approaching both perspectives with respect, we gain a deeper understanding of each. One is a personal journey toward authenticity, the other a testament to enduring cultural heritage. Both ask us, in their own way, what does it truly mean to live comfortably in our own skin? The loudest myths are often the least true. Some imagine wild, unrestrained behavior, places where norms vanish. Reality: etiquette of respect, personal space, courtesy. Active safety and close ties with local law enforcement. Residents cherish the security. Another myth: only the young and perfect live here. In truth, it's a cross-section of humanity, every age, shape, size, and ability. A living reminder that media ideals are fiction. Body positivity replaces shame. Some towns are resort-driven, many are modest and self-sustaining. Local services and shared projects like gardens underpin daily life. Tourism helps fund maintenance and sustainability aligned with community values. First days mix apprehension and exhilaration, quickly giving way to normalcy. In the end, this story isn't about the absence of clothing. It's about presence, peace, community, comfort in one's own skin. A smaller, quieter life, often more true. Clear rules, shared responsibility, mutual respect. Explore more human stories on global trends and travel. Subscribe and join the journey.